Okay, cool. So, thank you guys for hopping on. So I just wanted to kind of go over just like posting and like telling your story, just because it's like such a huge part of your business. And I feel like, like when I started, like I always said like, oh, I don't have a story, or I have no story to tell, or I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what to post. So if you're feeling like that, that's normal. It takes a little bit to kind of just like get used to creating ideas of like what to talk about, what to post about. And my best like advice, or one of my best tips, is just be you, be yourself. Like, I'm always talking about, you know, body positivity and positive, like literally positive things, just because I'm naturally a positive person. So like, today I talked about like not giving up and like keep going, like no matter what happens. And then I talk about food a lot. I talk about travel because it's one of my passions. Like, I talk about my dogs. I talk about keto coffee every day because that's my favorite product and I don't go a day without it. There's so many things that you guys can talk about that are business related and life related. And like, I honestly combine every post with my life and combine it with the business. So like I'll literally like talk about like what I did that day, how my day went, and how like, if it weren't for this business, like I wouldn't be able to do those things. Even when I was in school, like I would talk about like my busy hectic day, but then I would talk about how I would be able to still make an extra income while being a busy college student because I got to do that on my own time. I got to talk about how like this business paid for my groceries, paid for my gas, paid for my nights out in college. And it really did. I didn't really, my on campus job, like, did not pay me well, like at all when I was at school. I couldn't, that's why I started this business in the first place, because that income that I had, it wasn't enough and I could not fit another job into my hectic schedule because I was doing a bajillion things at school. So I wanted something that was flexible. So I talked about that because that's literally why I joined. That's why I started. So I talked about how like, I was looking for a flexible opportunity. I was looking for something that I would like to do. And I was on my phone anyway, so I talked about that. I talked a lot about like why I joined, why I was afraid to start. That's a big one. Like, we're all afraid to start, this business. Like before we join and when we join, like we're like always afraid. We're afraid. And it's mainly because we're afraid of the unknown. It's something new. We've never done it before, all this stuff. So talk about like what you were afraid of when you joined this business. And now that you're on the other side, you know, why you shouldn't have been afraid in the first place. Like, or say like, that you glad you took that jump. You glad that you joined. You're glad that you learned something about this business and about yourself and about how you can literally do anything when you put your mind to it. Like, talk about that. Other things that you can talk about are like working your business on the go, whether you're in college or not, I don't care. But like when you're on the go, like if you're out with your family for the day, or if you're like, I don't know, like in the car, like if you are on the go and you have your phone in your hand, you can work like from anywhere, from Wi-Fi. When even when you travel, like you can take your phone with you. Your business comes with you, so you can also talk about that. And like, let's see, what other things you could talk about. You can honestly talk about your struggles sometimes. I do that. Like I'll say like perfect example is last month when I had mono. I was very vulnerable about that. I did not have to talk about that, but I did because it's part of my life. And I also did because if it weren't for this business, I wouldn't have been able to stay home literally bedridden for 2 weeks straight. I I would have never been able to take that time off of work from a 9 to 5 job if I had one. I would have never been able to do that. they would have probably given me like 3 days or something. I don't know. Like, they would have never done that. And if it weren't for this business, I would have never, ever, ever, ever been able to heal and rest as much as I did. And because I rested and because I was bedridden for 2 weeks, my body healed and I'm like literally almost back to normal now. So I was vulnerable. Be vulnerable about your life, what you're going through, what you're thinking about, where you're going, what goals you have. Like, I talk about my goals all the time. I talk about my team all the time. And another thing, guys, is like when you talk about your goals, when you talk about your team, when you talk about where you're going and where you want to be, you're speaking that out. What you speak about, you bring about. So when you speak that out, that's you putting it into the universe, saying like, holy crap, like I'm going to pay off my student loans by the end of next year. Like, for example, I've said that in a few posts this past few weeks, which is like, that's what I want to do. Like, that's where I'm going, and I'm speaking that out and I'm working towards doing that. And when it comes to just like, with everyday posts, like you can post any picture you want. Literally any picture. It doesn't matter. Like me personally, like I like posting pictures of me and my friends and my family. I like that. I also love taking pictures of where I'm traveling or what I'm eating. That is honestly the majority of what I post because that's me. Like, I'm a foodie. I love my family. I love my dogs. I even have a highlight for my dogs. Like, so like that's me. That's what I post. But if you are a person where like you take a bunch of more pictures with your friends, post pictures with your friends. If you are a selfie person, post selfies. I'm not a big selfie person, but that's just me. Like, if you like selfies, post them. If you I don't know, if you like your dogs, post about your dogs. If you like your cat, post about your cat. I don't know. If you like food, post about that. If you like where you are on campus. I remember there were so many beautiful spots on my campus. I would post about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like, have your Instagram be about your life, be about you. And when it comes to telling your story, try to form the caption like where you were, what you wanted, and where you are now. Talk about that. Literally, where were you before you joined this business? What were you going through? What job did you have? Were you not confident? Were you not positive? Were you in a bad mindset? Like what was your life before this business? Then talk about what you wanted. So like if you literally were working and working and working and you were miserable, and because you were working so much and then not getting what like the paycheck that you wanted on top of that, and you were really mad about that and you wanted to change that, say that, and then go into like how you joined this business, and now your life or your mind or your mindset, your confidence or whatever it is has forever changed. I don't care how long you've been in this business, like everybody has learned something about themselves, about this business from day one of starting. No matter who you are, how long you've been in this business. Megan, you've been in for under 6 months. Amanda, you've been in as long as I have, basically. It's like you guys have learned something, so continue to tell that story. Continue to tell like where you were before and where you are now and where you're going. Like, that is so important because listen, like you guys saw my posts, right? You saw my post. I talked about where I was. I was vulnerable about my experiences. I probably messaged you guys a bajillion times, or I went live, or I posted on my story, or whatever. But you guys kept following me because I talked about my past. I talked about being vulnerable about my life before it works. I talked about like how I was scared. I talked about how, when I joined, I had no idea what I was doing because I had zero sales experience. Like, I talked about that. And now I talk about like what this business has done for me because I gave myself a chance. Even it doesn't matter if you've been in for a month, a day, or a year. Like, what has this business done for you since you started? Whether it's income, or maybe you've gotten more friends, or or maybe you've gotten more confident, or I don't know, like everybody's different. So it's just so important to continue talking about that, because if you don't, and then you don't post, and then you don't share that story, what are you doing, you know? Why are you here? If you join for a reason, like why aren't you willing to share the reasons why? You know what I'm saying? So it's like when like posting, like I try to post every day. I really do. And I do. And if I miss a day, okay, am I gonna like die? No. But like life happens. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like post like every day. Post something. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So and like posting will get easier the more that you do it. The more that you make the caption, the more that like, you know, throughout the day I'll have like this random thought and I'll be like, oh my God, I have to post about that. And then like you just have to get in the habit of like coming up with different ideas to talk about. And like if you're like stuck, like, and you have no idea like what the heck am I going to write about today, go through other leaders not Snapchat, oh my God, other leaders Instagrams. You know, there's so many leaders on our team that are so inspiring, and there's all of their stories are so different. You know, follow people in this business that relate to you, that inspire you, that make you want to keep going in this business, you know? So like for me, those people are Nay, Sasha, Cassie, and Allison Messer. Allison Messer, oh my gosh, I would cry if she hugged me. But and like Cheyenne Knox, like I would also cry if she hugged me, you know. But those people, like they're all so different. All of their Instagrams are different. They all talk about different things, and they all inspire me. So like find people that like relate to you, that click with you, and then like look at their captions and copy the right cat. What are they talking about? You know, like I don't know. Like Cassie posted something the other day about like dreamed it and then real lifed it, and that one thing made me think about, wow, I used to dream about being able to work from my bed, and now I do that every day. Like that was a dream to me when I was like a teenager in high school, and even in college it was a dream to me, and now it's my real life, you know. Like just that one sentence like gave me that idea, you know what I'm saying? So like read other people's captions, stalk my Instagram. I don't know. Look at our sidelines. Like, look at your sidelights, like on our own team, like on Team K. Like, look at what other people are talking about, and you'll just spark an idea. That's honestly what I do when I get stuck. And then it just like, I'm like, okay, I got it. And then I just write it in Instagram and I type it out and I post and I'm done. You know? So, and like at first, like when I started writing my own captions and stuff, like, it took a while. It took me a while to like make a caption, made sure that I really liked it, and that to me it was good, and it like, you know, flowed or whatever. It took me a while. I used to write captions in 30 minutes, which is like a really long time. But now it takes me like 10 minutes to write a caption, or even 5, because I know what I want to talk about, and I don't know, I just like word vomit on my Instagram, I guess. I don't know. Like, I also like to write, and like that's another thing that's like good for me. But if like you're a person like, holy crap, I have no idea like what to write, I don't even know how to talk about myself, like it's just practice. Like this business is literally like, what is this saying? 80% mindset, 20% skill. Like it's all in your head. It's literally like all about like your mindset, being positive, believing in yourself, knowing that you can do it. And if you're sitting there like, I have no idea what the frick to post, like just know in your head or know in yourself that you can do it. It's just a process. It's like a practice. Like it's kind of like losing weight. You're not going to lose 50 pounds in one day. You know what I mean? You're not going to become a professional Instagram captioner in a week. You know, it takes time. So like that's why I say like the more that you do it, the more that you write, the more that you do it every day, the better it is, and the easier it will get. The faster you'll write captions, the more the more ideas you'll get in your head. And like maybe if you already posted like for the day and you came up with another idea, write it down. Write it down. I have like a notes section in my phone, and I'm just like post ideas, and like I just write it down, because I forget everything. Ask Amanda. So like I forget everything. If I don't write it down, I will forget. I won't remember. So if you're like, oh, I should have posted about that today, post about it tomorrow. That's like literally like the best thing ever, because when you post like that day and then you think of like another thing to post, you're like, oh my god, I already have an idea for tomorrow, like yay. And then it's just a process, and like you guys like need to be patient with yourselves and not get frustrated. And another thing is like you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Amanda was one of my like honestly first distributors I've ever signed in this business. She is still here. I had no idea what I was doing when she signed up. I have no idea the PDT conversation that I had, but I can tell you right now it is completely different as to how I talk to distributors now. Like I probably word vomited everywhere to Amanda, but she still joined. Like you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. So like if you're sitting there, you're like, oh my god, like nobody's gonna get this or nobody's gonna read this. You don't know that. You don't know that. You could be vulnerable and talk about yourself and post about an experience you had about your credit card declining, and someone could literally reach out to you and be like, hey, I relate. What do you do? You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. You cannot. So don't overthink your captions. Don't try to make it like super duper perfect, grammatically perfect, like whatever. The amount of times I've had typos in my captions, oh my god. A lot. But it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like that just proves that you're a real person. That just proves that you're writing your heart out and what you feel and what you've gone through. People relate to that. You know what I'm saying? So like don't overstress it. Just talk about the idea that you want to talk about. Put it in a few sentences. And then back it up with like how you feel and how you felt then and how you feel now. That's literally what I do when I'm talking about like where I was then and where I am now. And then when I'm talking about like my day, I start from like, okay, what did I do when I got up this morning? How was I feeling? And I talk about what I did throughout the day and how like if it weren't for this business, I wouldn't have been able to do those things. Or talking about like, being able to work from bed. Like the amount of times people have been like, you make money from your bed? Like, show me how. Like people, like I said, you cannot write or say the wrong thing to the right person, because the more things that you talk about, the more vulnerable that you are. People are going to read. And another thing, when you post on Instagram, no matter what it is, people stalk you. They stalk you. Okay, we all have silent stalkers. I wish there was like a way Instagram could tell us like what users or followers that we have, like read every single post. Not like, but read. How many of my followers read my post, Because like girls can like follow me forever and I have no idea if they're interested. I mean, I probably messaged them 1,000 times by now. Maybe they haven't answered. Maybe they're scared to talk to me. I don't know. But like they watch me and they read my captions every single day. But I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know who does and who doesn't. But then that one time or every once in a while, I'll get someone that DMs me out of the random blue and they'll be like, so I've been following you for like a year and like I absolutely love what you do and I'm so nervous that I won't be able to do it, but like I really want to know more about what you do. So what do you do? A year, like people, or 6 months or whatever people say, and I'm like, homegirl, where you been? What? Like it's just crazy because like people are genuinely watching you. They really are. Even if you don't think that you have silent stalkers, I'm telling you that you do. You do. Whether you haven't posted in a day or a couple of days, people look through your Instagram and they're like, wow, Megan's living her life. Wow, Amanda's living her life. Wow, Kayla is thriving. Like they look through, everybody's so nosy too. Like everybody wants to know what everybody is doing. That is the definition of social media. Everybody wants to know what you're doing. So don't tell me that people don't want to hear it. Don't tell me that people don't want to hear about your day. They do. even if you don't think that they do. They do. Like, I want to hear about Amanda's weekend, you know? I'm sure she's going to talk about it. She went to a wedding. I want to hear about your weekend, Megan. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know you guys, you know? Strangers want to know. They want to know. They do. Let's see. I think that's really all I got. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I just like had this idea in my head this morning. I was like, I feel like nobody knows what to post about. So, does anybody have questions? Like, Megan, do you have a question? Amanda, you have a question? Amanda's shaking her head now. But like, seriously, like, just post about you every day. Oh, one more thing. Another thing is like, maybe I'll post about the business yesterday. Maybe I'll do a now hiring post. Everybody should do that. A now hiring post. Oh my gosh. And it's really easy to make one too. And if you want help with making one, like, I will help you. But now hiring posts, like, sometimes get me just potential distributors that swipe up on it or something. Oh my God, where was I going with this? Dang it. I forgot what I was going to say. Whatever. I'll probably watch this and be like, oh, that's what I was going to say. I have no idea where I was going with that. Well, that's okay. So anyway, post about your lives, post about you. Don't be afraid. Don't overthink it, and just do it. The more that you do it, the more people that are going to read, the more people that are going to watch you, and the easier it's going to be for you to get in the habit of posting every day, to come up with captions on the spot, to come up with different post ideas. Like, the more that you do it, the easier it will be. No matter if you've been in this business a month, 2 months, 5 months, a year, I don't care. Like, sometimes I've been doing this for almost 3 years and I still have trouble figuring out what to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you just got to do it every day. It's like a challenge. And another thing, I always say this to myself whenever I don't post. If I don't post, I literally just say to myself, Kayla, you'll let your followers down today. Because the people that religiously stalk me, that I don't know who they are, they didn't get to see a post from me today. What if they went on my profile just to see if I posted? You know? And then you don't post? Like, it's like a letdown, you know? Or like, you know, when you guys like follow a celebrity or something and like you want to see like what they most recently posted, but they haven't posted in like a month, and you're like, oh, well, that's boring. I want to know what they're doing right now. You see, that's a perfect example. Everybody wants to know what celebrities are doing, right? Every single day. We are no different. They want to know what we're doing. So next time you decide not to post because you thought that you had nothing to talk about, first, false, you do. Second, just say to yourself, I let my followers down today. Say that out loud to yourself, and then you'll be like, oh my God, I need to post like right now. And another thing is, guys, there's no right time to post either. I post at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I don't have a set time. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I get more likes and more comments or even more DMs from posting at night, because what is everyone doing at 9 o'clock at night? They're on their phone. After getting out of work at like 5 or 6 o'clock, eating dinner, taking a shower, just chilling, then they're on their phone because they got nothing else to do. Because they went to work all day while you got to work from your phone. You know what I mean? So everyone's always on their phones, anywhere between like, I don't know, 8 to midnight, every single night, doesn't matter. And another thing is like, what if you post at 10 o'clock, but someone's in a different time zone and it's 7 p.m.? You know what I mean? So don't ever forget that either. There are your followers that live in different states than you that are either an hour ahead or an hour behind or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, Megan, I always forget. I think you're an hour behind me. I'm pretty sure. But you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm done babbling. I'm done talking. And I'm going to end this recording. So thank you for hopping on. See you next week.